Found another source of strength.
So being a teenager is fun and exciting, but there's no doubt it's challenging. And you probably face challenges very different from myself or your teachers when we were in your shoes. So I want to have an open discussion with you guys about mental health. Mental health is an important part of our overall health. I first want to ask you, what do you think contributes to overall mental health struggles for teens?
Sports. Yeah. Schoolwork. Social media.
Just like an overload of stuff that we have to deal with throughout the day, like a day-to-day basis.
The pressure of it all, a common theme with both groups of students we sat down with at Center Moriches High School with a focus on social media.
I feel like social media sets a certain standard.
It raises the bar a lot.
You never know what's going to pop up on your feed, what you can read, and how it can affect you, the things you see.
Trying to fit in with everybody and trying to be as popular as everyone else.
And how do you cope with social media?
It's really important to take breaks because I feel like when you're constantly on social media, you compare yourself to people.
My parents didn't let me have like certain social medias till I was older. And at the time I would complain about it. But now I'm just so thankful that I didn't experience it to an older age.
I'm going to read you guys a statistic. A 2021 study from the CDC found nearly 60% of female students and nearly 70% of LGBTQ plus students experience persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. Does this come as a surprise to you?
No.
The students say the pandemic played a big part, explaining the isolation weighed on them. To help the students, this school has various programs and clubs centered around mental health and well-being. This program, Runch, gives the students the option to gather and get exercise rather than just sit around at lunch.
Making new friends, become more social.
These are can forget, quote unquote, about school and just like decompress.
They feel better. They feel better physically, they feel better mentally, they feel better emotionally. So it's kind of like a little bit of like a serotonin release for them in a way.
Then there's Goal Getters, a more structured program run by Assistant Principal Katie Foreman, using the weight room to focus on meeting physical and academic goals.
I felt I needed to be a part of something like this because I personally struggled with depression. I've seen myself being more happy, wanting to come here more, wanting to complete more of my work.
In the start of this year, I kind of got into some trouble and it was going through a really hard time. And going here every day really helped me and improved not only with my school academics but also with my home life.
For those who prefer a different outlet, there's mindfulness and yoga.
Start with a little bit of just centering.
From breathwork to journaling, the club offers students tools to cope with anxiety and stress.
I think that it reminds them that they have agency over how they feel, that they can control their anxiety a little bit better, and that wherever they are, they can use these tools.
The school's principal says in a short time, these programs are making a difference.
I'm seeing the results in behavior and academics and attendance. At school, we should be a safe space. We should be a safe place for them. We should be somewhere that they don't dread to go, but that they get excited to go. And that's what we're finding.
Sentiments echoed by these students who feel the support here.
It really changes your school day when you're not just in class going through the motions. You have other stuff to look forward to.
The openness, allowing to go to one of our, faculty and just being able to talk to them.
So I want you to help us help you. If I'm a parent and I'm concerned about my child's well-being, how do you think I should approach my child?
Be relatable. Don't come off and be like, oh, why haven't you been doing your homework? Why haven't you been doing this? When you're shouting at someone, when you're even just the way you say things, it might not even be what you say, but how you say it. You can just be like, oh, I noticed that you've been, coming and going straight to your room. Is there anything that's bothering you? Instead of being like, all you do is come home, get on your phone, stay upstairs, da, da, da. It's you don't have to be like that.
Just being open and honest, yes, they are your parent, but sometimes they have to be that friend you need to just openly talk to.
I think just letting your kid know, no matter what it is, no matter what it is you're going through, no matter how bad it is, you can come to us and talk to us, and we won't get mad at you.
How important is it to you all that mental health is prioritized?
I think it's extremely important, but I think the most important thing is normalizing it.
It helps everyone realize that mental health struggles are real and they're everywhere. It's not just something you hear about every once in a while. It affects everyone, everywhere.
I think it's also important that we're breaking the stigma. There's such a I feel like there's such a stigma around mental health, and I've never really struggled with it until this year. So just having people who are willing to listen and to talk to you about it and to help you through it, it's a lot. It really makes a difference.
For these teens, sitting side by side knowing they're in this together, there's power in that.
The COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated mental health struggles among children and teenagers. Tim McNicholas went to a school in Manhattan where students are finding comfort.